First of all, I want to be clear again. The US is engaged, is committed to being engaged, and I think it's unfair when sometimes in our region the narrative is different. But we have to work more to make this clear that we are both on the same side and working on this. I will say sometimes the noise around, the public noise around, I've been very amused having seen me quoted during this trip of things that I had not remotely implied, but that noise then gives a different impression sometimes. But the reality is that we're working together. We are looking towards how to bring this in one place. The methodology can be different, but the signal of a strategic political leadership of the US remaining, the US has to lead this, otherwise this will not, I don't think this will go where we want it to. Of course, the US has to be in the room, and Pakistan will continue to facilitate this conversation as much as we can to get to the outcomes that Troika Plus and everybody else has put out. So I think, I mean, I'm nobody to say what the US should do. I think Pakistan and the US must be seen publicly to be pushing as hard as we can on the same side. Now, there's always this conversation about, oh, what can you do and what can I do? I think that's also the time has passed for that. What we need is to know that here is where we want to go. Here are the parameters acceptable to everybody. As we've discussed, everybody will compromise. The Afghan context will dominate. Rights have to be protected in an Afghan context. They have to agree on the constitution, no forceful takeover, everything, right? As long as we can get all actors to agree to those parameters, then it's up to them to sit together and figure out what future they want for their country. Whatever methodology anybody thinks is useful for that, that should be applied. But Rick, the important point is we have days, we can't afford weeks and months. So this has to move as fast as we can, because the situation, as we know, is very fluid, and we shouldn't wait to see where that goes. The final thing on this I will say, we have been very disappointed as a country, extremely disappointed at what the kind of rhetoric and attitude that has been coming out of Kabul towards Pakistan. No other country has done more. And people in Pakistan feel very disappointed or disturbed when this happens. I don't want to, I mean, you know more than me what's been coming. Everybody has to work together at this time. It is not right to take a position where the policy seems to be to use Pakistan as a scapegoat and transfer all blame on Pakistan. Everybody's made mistakes, right? But Pakistan has actually suffered for a war that was not of our making. So I would just encourage everybody to be civil about this, and let's figure out how to work together. We are still telling the Afghan government we want to help. We've offered an upgraded trade and transit agreement, you know, talking about virtually everything that can get this through. No other country can support Afghanistan's economy like Pakistan just because of geography. We can extend our connectivity. We've even said we should think about co-investment between Pakistan, Afghanistan, US, China, others for Afghanistan's sake. The ROZ legislation, I know, is again sort of, you know, being tabled. We can set up manufacturing units in Pakistan where Afghan raw materials can be processed, giving Afghanistan a lot of foreign exchange. Keep in mind, we're talking of the politics, but nobody's really talked about an economic plan yet. So we are very much there, but I personally am very disappointed. It shrinks our space to work positively on this issue when this kind of vitriol rhetoric is heard all the time.